from bare like this to popping like this. So hey loves, and again welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'm going to be taking you guys behind the scenes. This is going to be a mini editing video. I'm going to be showing you guys basically how I do my basic color adjustment, color correction, color customization to suit my my personal brand as well as my YouTube channel. Now I'm going to be showing you guys the basic things that I do. This is going to be beginner friendly at the same time, so you can definitely follow along with me or edit along with me as we go. So what I'm going to do right now is to go over to where I have my file. So I already went ahead to import my clips into a folder, and I'm going to name this my editing tutorial. So what I want to do now is to go over to my Final Cut Pro, because that's what I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using Final Cut Pro to edit this video. I'm going to create a new library and a new project, and I'm just going to call this or title this or label this editing video. It's so basic but very functional and SEO friendly. So let me just name this editing video, copy it. I'm going to store this in my external drive just so it's faster and it doesn't take up space on my computer. I'm going to open a new project, and also let's just call it editing video. Now I'm not going to go in depth with this, but my videos are recorded or were recorded in 4K, so I'm going to click on 4K at 29.97. That's exactly how I recorded my video, and then click on OK. Right, so I'm going to copy and paste all these videos. The reason why I'm working with all these videos, I'm going to edit one clip and show you how I create my color adjustment, how I save my color adjustment, and how I basically click and drop my color adjustment on literally any clip that I film in my studio. This is like my preset. It's like a fast way for me to edit. So like I said, I do have a preset, a YouTube video preset that I use basically for all my content. So all I do right now, I don't know if you guys can see, this is what it looks like, or what it would look like if I or when I applied this preset. You guys can see that. Let me just hover over it. This only works because of I'm filming in my studio, so I pretty much have the same lighting situation going on. At least 95% of the time my lighting is usually stable and the same. I have the same colors going on, so it's easy to create a preset that works. So with this, I don't have to spend minutes or hours trying to edit every single clip or every single video that I film. All I need to do is do my trims, cuts, add some overlays, music, sound, whatever it is I need to do, and then do my final color adjustments by just dragging and dropping on that. But I'm going to be showing you guys basically how I edit from scratch, and also how I save this preset on to my Final Cut Pro app, so that way I don't have to do this every single time. Something I might do if I feel like is maybe make some adjustment, if I feel like it's too vibrant, if I feel like it's too bright, maybe the lighting was a bit off, I could just make some just little tweaks. But this is basically my standard preset. So I'm just going to go back, Command Z to remove it, and we are going to start creating the preset from scratch, or creating the color adjustment from scratch. Now these are the clips that I'm going to be working with. I have one clip over here, I have another video over here, and I have another video over here as well. So I'm going to show you how we would edit this video, save the preset, and apply that on to whatever videos I have created. So the first thing I like to do is to go over to my color bar right here. I'm just going to click on it, and currently you can see I have no corrections, right? The first correction I like to do, and I mostly focus on, is my color board. I'm going to click on my color board and start editing. Now in your color board you have three sections: the color, saturation, and exposure. I don't like playing around with the color because I feel like it just tweaks the hue and the highlights and all of that. I don't want to do anything too crazy or too drastic. Like I said, this is going to be a very basic color adjustment, so I'm only going to be playing around with the saturation and with the exposure. So the first thing I like to do is to go over to the exposure. I like to bring down my midtones. This is my midtones right here. I'm going to bring it down so that way it's a little bit more contrasty and you guys can see the blacks going on. So I'm going to bring this down to about, let's say, 20, right? I'm going to also play around with my shadow over here. Again, if I want it brighter, it's going to expose, but by reducing my shadows a bit, this is totally optional. But I find that because of the way I set my, I just want to also say this, the way I'm editing is also custom to the way that I set my camera settings while recording. I'll leave the link to my camera settings over here so you guys can watch out that video. If you notice, when recording I reduce the contrast so that way I can edit it during post-production and get that exact look that I want. I don't like it to be too contrasty. That's why I always reduce whenever I'm filming. So now that I'm editing, I can add that contrast back to my video, so I can play around with my shadow just a little bit, just to darken it up a little bit. Play around with my midtones as well. I think this is good. Is it with my colors adjusted? This is the before and this is the after. Now you guys can see that it's a little bit more detailed. You can see the colors as well. So I typically would leave it like this. My highlights, I don't want to make any adjustment. You can increase the highlights to make it brighter, or you can reduce it, but I'm going to just increase the highlight just a little bit. I'm going to add maybe 5 to it. That is okay for me. Again, let me do it before and after for you guys to see, before and after. Depending on what your camera settings is like and your lighting as well, that would affect how you do it. But just use your eyes and see what is appealing to you, right? Your eyes cannot lie. The next thing I like to do is to go over to my saturation. For my saturation, I like to just play around with it, right? I usually use mostly this master tool and I just increase the dial up a little bit. This just does all the color adjustments for me. Now I wouldn't definitely keep it this way, even though this looks really vibrant. It looks too artificial. I'm going to keep it somewhere halfway so that it's vibrant but not too vibrant. Something you can be doing while you're editing is to click on the before and after so that you guys can see how we are advancing, right? I'm going to click it back on again. So I'm going to also play around with my midtones, increase that just a little bit, and I definitely like how vibrant and rich this is looking without it looking too, let me use the word, orangey. If you're a person of color and you're playing around with your vibrance and your saturation, it is so easy to create that orange look when you amplify your saturation, but we don't want that because it looks tacky. And yeah, so we're just going to stick to what it's currently looking like right now. And yeah, I definitely love what it's looking like at this point. You guys can see the vibrance in the color. Something else that I occasionally do, I don't play around with my wheels and my curves because they typically do the same thing as color board, but I find our color board is quite beginner friendly and easy to play around with. Yeah, something else that I do is to go over to my hue and saturation. This over here is definitely optional. But what I do sometimes if I want to tweak the color, make it more vibrant, is that I go over to hue and saturation, this second bar right here. I click on it and I click on the color that I want to make more vibrant. If I want to make my skin more orange, I will click on it, right? The color would appear over here. It's so easy, it's like a picker tool. Increase that orange and I look very orange, but we're not doing that. So I can definitely make my, if I had a pink in the background, green, let me play around with green. I could make the green look more vibrant, right? I'm just going to add it a little bit, just a little bit, right? If I also wanted to change the hue or the color of the greens in this video, let's say sort of like I want to create like a lot, I would simply click on that same green. It's super easy, and toggle that. You guys can see that the color is changing just a little bit. But yeah, I'm not going to do this again. Like I said, we're doing the basics, so this is how I would typically do this. So next up, what I like to do is to sharpen my content or my videos further. So I'm going to go over to this effects bar, click on it and search for sharpness. Make sure that I'm searching all videos. Sharpen. I'm going to click on sharpen and drop. My sharpen is usually I usually sharpen to about 2%. I don't like going more than 2%. 2%, 2.5 maximum. Anything more than that, it starts looking artificial, it starts looking fake, it starts looking over edited. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. So if I were to go to, let's say 10, you guys can see that it looks like a cartoon, and I don't like that. I'd rather keep the original quality of my content. This is not how I look in person, and I do not like it. So I'm going to keep this at 2, and this is what 2 looks like. It's still a little bit, I wouldn't say natural, but it's still true to life, but it's more enhanced, right? So this is what I have going on. Again, this hue and saturation curve is totally optional. I can delete it. It doesn't really have an effect on my overall output. I don't know if you guys can see. Off, on, off. It is not making any difference. Let me delete it just so you guys are not confused, but you can do that to yours if you have maybe pinks or colors that you want to enhance, blues at the background you want to remove. So something else that I always apply is a custom LUT. Now I'm going to go over to my custom LUT. Again, at this point, you can actually stop editing, right? I think the video looks decent. However, I like to apply this custom LUT. I'm going to leave the links to where I bought and downloaded this LUT from. But it's a cinematic LUT. It's a pack of over 100 LUTs I can apply to my content. As you guys can see, I have like tons of LUTs over here that I use, but this is what I typically use. And I'm going to click on that, and that applies. I don't know if you guys saw the difference it made. Now I love this preset because of how vibrant it kind of makes my skin look. It adds like a reddish, healthy, pinkish tone to my skin that brightens me up. Now I'm more particular about me as opposed to my background and doing all of that, you know, color grading and tweaking. This for me just enhances my color at the same time. So this is what it looks like with the LUT on. I'm just going to turn it off so you can see. It just adds a little bit of pinkness, healthiness to my skin. Can you see with it on again and with it turned off? It also brightens my background just a little bit, and I love this preset. Now, this is currently at the fullest capacity, which is 100%. I typically would never use any preset at 100% because, again, it might be overpowering on me or on your video. So I like to keep this somewhere at 50% to 60%, somewhere that you can see the difference, but it's not overpowering. And since I'm focusing on my skin, I don't want to look too red or too pink. I just want that very soft glow. I'm gonna bring this down to about 50%, 60%. Yeah, I would, yeah, beautiful. 6. This is typically how I would edit my videos. It is super easy, super quick. I'm just gonna turn off all the effects that we did previously so that you guys can see the difference it makes. So this is it, turn off, right? And I'm going to turn all the edits that we made back on. You guys can see how this looks really vibrant. It looks rich, it looks healthy, it's not oversaturated, and it looks colorful. Let me expand this so that we can see. This is how it looks. This is my perfect edit. I love it. It's sharp enough. You guys can see the blacks, the colors, the richness of my content. Again, I filmed in 4K, so it just enhances the 4K quality. Let me turn it off one by one. This is the LUTs, turn off. This is the sharpness, turn off a little bit, and this is the color saturation, turn off. So I'm going to turn everything back on, and what I'm going to do right now is to go over to my save effect preset. Now this is typically where I would save my presets. I love saving my presets depending on where I'm filming, how I'm filming, because again, like I said, it's very easy for me to add on whenever I'm editing more content. And usually color correcting or color grading is typically the last thing I would do whenever I'm editing. It's the last thing I would do, like the last thing I would do whenever I'm editing, because after that I render and then I export. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to save this preset so that whenever I'm filming in my studio, I already have a preset exactly like this, but I'm going to save this one so whenever I'm filming YouTube content in my studio, I have a preset that I can work with and I know that it's going to work. I'm going to save this as YouTube. Let me save it in caps letter, studio presets, so that I know that this is for my YouTube studio. I'm going to save this as Kelechi's presets, right? You can create your own category, new category, but I already have my own category that I've created, Kelechi's presets. These are all the effects that we just created. If you want to remove the lot, you can click on it to remove it, but I want everything to be as it is right now. And yeah, so I have all that effects right now prepared. I'm going to save it, right? And amazing. So if I want to add that effect to my content, I'm just going to go over to my effect over here, scroll and look for Kelechi's preset, and now I can see my, let me search for my, it should be somewhere down, YouTube Studio preset right here. This is the presets that we just created. But what I'm going to do is to double click or right click on it and make this my default video effect. Now this is going to be the first on my editing effect list. As you guys can see, if I open up my effect tab, you guys can see this is the first thing popping up. This is going to be my default. This is the YouTube Studio preset that we just edited and created. So with this, all I need to do is to drag and drop. And this is another video, this is another video. Let me just import a video that I filmed today onto my timeline so that you can see that it kind of also works with other content. So this is the intro of this video. I just imported that to my timeline. You guys can see that we are working with the same background, basically, right? We're working with the same background, so you know that it was filmed some minutes ago. So I'm just going to hover on my preset. As you guys can see, it still looks amazing. I can just click and drop, right? And this is what it looks like. What I can do now is to Command C, copy and paste. Let me paste all that effect on all my content. Edit, paste effects. I just pasted it on all, assuming all the 3 videos that we just created. Again, these are 3 different videos we created, and this is what my presets basically looks like on all the video. This is how I edit my content. Super quick, super easy. If I feel like it's too, contrasty, I can always tweak it just a little bit, but this typically works for me 95% of the time. But I feel like the highlights might be too much in this video, so I'm going to tweak that down a little bit. And let's see, I can go over to my color board and tweak my highlights just a little bit so it's not too bright. Maybe reduce the saturation just a tad bit. I feel like I'm somewhere looking a little bit orange, and this works for me. So yeah, this is basically it. And yeah guys, so that's typically how I would edit my, or color correct, color enhance, color adjust my content, my YouTube videos that quick. Basically, definitely your camera settings definitely affect how you edit. But yeah guys, I hope this was helpful. I just wanted to show you guys a quick way on how I color grade, color upgrade, color enhance my YouTube videos, and I take it from bare like this to popping like this. So if you enjoyed this video, let me know down in the comment section. I'm so grateful for you being here in this channel. On this channel, I like to share tips, tricks, strategies, tutorials on how to create high quality content as well as engaging content. I like showing guys behind the scenes of the entire production process, whether it's pre-production, post-production, or the actual production. I'm all about that. So again, I'm Kelechi Mgbemena. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks for joining the family. If you are yet to join the family, it's fine, it's okay. Simply click on the subscribe button right here. Join the family right now. Stick around with us and let's create content. I can't wait to see you guys in my next one. Again, you can check out my camera settings as well as hopefully a full detailed video on how I edit my YouTube video, very quick, right here. Again, check it out. I can leave the subscribe button right here for you guys to subscribe to my channel if you are yet to subscribe, and definitely cannot wait to see you guys in one of these videos. Till we meet again, make sure that you stay fabulous and that you stay blessed. Bye guys.